Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This month's theme was movies that should be 5 out of 5, so we picked the movie Lucy, made in 2014. And we bring you movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, Ryan Preston.
And the old guys here.
So the movie Lucy, according to IMDb, is about a woman accidentally caught up in a dark deal that turns the tables on her captors and transforms her into a merciless warrior evolved beyond human logic.
You know,
Horrible.
It's terrible. But you know what I really hate about some movies? I hate when the trailer is better than the whole freaking movie.
Well, the trailer just didn't leave much to the imagination. And you know what? Even before we get started, I wanted to point out that this movie is not part of our. This movie should be 5 out of 5
Yeah,
stars.
exactly.
It sort of came at the tail end when we had to watch a theater movie. I don't want you to think that we all thought this was going to be perfect.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I thought this was
definitely.
going to be at least interesting, and I found it interesting.
Okay.
There's a lot of hypothetical and theoretical ideas in it, and I
think
enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed.
You know
Yeah,
what?
no,
It
I
had a
agree.
great premise, but I think they really went awry in many areas. And I don't know if it was they were trying to shorten the movie down, their budget was doing stuff, but it just felt a lot of the scenes were unfinished.
And I got a big plot hole for you guys. Did anybody else have a problem with her, like, not slaughtering the scientists that came up with this because they have the formula?
I didn't think that was
Nobody
really
really thought about that one? She's trying to get rid of all of the drugs. That's why she wanted all the drugs.
right.
So that she could absorb them all and get rid of all the product. But what about the manufacturers?
Well, the way they
And the
made
scientists.
It, well,
No,
the
the
way
way
they
it's
made
made.
it. Well, the way they made it
for that
sound is
reason.
it sounded it was so hard to manufacture that what the batch they had was all they had. Was the way that was the gist I got.
But they
Dec-
made more. But they can make more. That's my issue.
Well,
yeah.
it sounded like they could, but it would be decades.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
well.
a drug that was made over decades, and apparently something was extracted from babies.
Yeah.
But
So,
I do have a question though. Did anybody enjoy the Carl Sagan moments with Morgan Freeman?
Okay.
Because I actually thought those
You
were the
mean
most. I thought that was the
standing there as
most.
a professor
Well, I
talking about
thought-
theoretical
Well, I
physics.
thought that was the most humorous part. I actually thought that added a lot of comedy elements to a movie that needed a little humor.
Okay. Well, first of all, just since he's black, we're going to call him the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
But the Neil deGrasse Tyson might as well be Carl Sagan at this
Might
point.
as well, yeah.
Uh,
I like him better than Carl Sagan.
the entire thing was a suspension of disbelief for me, just because the whole we only use 10% of our brain. That somebody called bullshit on that like 20 years ago.
Oh, and don't forget how
apparently Luc
dolphins are
Besson
better than us.
Was aware of this and still went with that plot, which kind of baffles me. I mean, he's a pretty good writer. Let's not forget this isn't his first science fiction movie. He wrote one of the funnier science fiction movies I've ever seen in The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And so much creativity and out there sort of things that sort of made sense in the world that he created. But this one, he took a thing that everybody kind of knows nowadays is bullshit and still went along with it. I figured he'd be clever enough to have the same kind of plot development but couch it in a little more like out there science as opposed to something we just know is wrong.
And I agree, but for some reason I just couldn't. That whole every part they did that was funny, especially the part when they said you showed the dolphin. Now they use 20% of the brain.
See, I think he was trying to be way more serious
He was.
than
He was.
tongue in cheek.
But I was laughing the whole time. It's like that's hilarious.
One of the things I thought was kind of funny. Now, for such an evolved person that Lucy was supposed to be, Scarlett Johansson, she really did not care about human life at all.
No.
I thought that was amazing because the more evolved she got, the more she's just like, oh, you looked at me wrong.
Well,
You're
that's
dead.
what she did. Well, she did say. She actually did say that. She said when the cop. She said. He said, "Well, I see I'm not making a difference," and she said,
Yeah.
"He said to her, but you're keeping me human, or
No,
a
you
reminder."
help me. You're
Yeah.
a reminder. Yeah.
Right.
By the way, I love the scene. Once she gets out of that jail cell, just walks up, bam, 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 sits down and just munches on all their food.
She was obviously hungry.
There was some interesting scenes in this movie, and for me, the comedy relief was the French cops.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, of
Have
course.
the whole Taiwanese Indonesian gang sitting right there with their trunks open, loading their guns as all the
Korean.
cops are running into the building and pulling up like, we don't see that.
No, we don't know what's going on.
Oh, totally.
Well, they're French. It's probably true.
I thought it was pretty funny.
No, I agree. The fact that she can walk around, all Taiwan while holding a large firearm with a
Walk
silencer.
right into a hospital and wander around the rooms.
And nobody notices at all. It's
Now,
hilarious.
I was kind of thinking that might be her brain power manipulating people.
I think that's a little much. I personally.
I was trying to give him some credit.
There was a couple of moments in there I didn't know which way they were trying to go with what she actually did. Like, for example, when the guy couldn't get through the hallway because he was hitting some
Oh, I
wall.
love the
Did
mime
she put
scene.
it in his mind, or did she put a physical wall in front of him?
That's what
I
I was
took
trying to
it-
figure out
Those
too.
are
I
the things I wanted to know. But
I took it
I
as a
just
men-
said she mimed him.
Yeah, I took it as a mental barrier.
That's what I was assuming. But I shouldn't have to assume those kinds of things. I would just spell it out a little more. Anyway,
I was
what I've come
hoping.
to-
Sorry, I wanted to say I was really hoping for a little Jim Carrey action. We hear the guy's face smushing across that.
Okay, Brian.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, what I was just going to say, the only thing that I've really come to expect from a Luc Besson movie is incredibly strong, crazy women who can kick everybody's ass, and that kind of comic relief, usually coming from the French people. And when the beginning of the movie started,
John Reno.
the whole Carl Sagan, humans only use 10% of their brain. My eyes got really wide, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to get over this as quickly as possible, so I can at least enjoy this movie." And once I
Right.
put that out of my mind, I think I had a pretty good time watching.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Is I had a good time with this movie. I wasn't expecting it to be great. I was hoping it'd be
No.
better than it was. It wasn't.
I was truly hoping for it to
But
be
I
better
had
than
some.
it was.
I had some fun with the theoretical and the hypothetical that this movie was trying to portray.
But the theoretical, hypothetical should have been 20 years ago, and we all still believed it. That's my only point.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. The other thing that I got to say that really bugged me was Morgan Freeman's dentures because it was actually affecting the way he talked.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That was
I did
driving
see
me
that.
nuts.
But I still think he had a fun little role in there. I mean, for what he did.
No, I actually thought his role was pretty good. I actually thought you could almost say that I'm glad they say starring both because not only do I think they have more screen time, I actually think Morgan Freeman's character was a little more multidimensional.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, he's in his 70s, probably mid-70s, and he still manages to be one of the coolest puckers ever.
Yeah.
Bit of shit for his dentures. But yeah, no, I mean, you have to build somebody
77.
like that first build just for the ticket sales. Everybody loves Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised they didn't give Scarlett Johansson the more Megan Fox treatment throughout this movie. There's only a few scenes where she was wearing very little clothes. What really surprised me, considering she was top billed.
No, I mean, did you see who made the movie? That's not his game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he pushed it a little bit in The Fifth Element, but
Well, yeah, no, I'm just really
that's
impressed.
really not what he does.
Well, I know, but it's still a Hollywood movie, wasn't it? I mean, it's genuinely with Hollywood movie. You got an attractive girl. They're going to say show more skin to sell tickets. I was just really impressed that he didn't do that.
Well, he's not known for being that kind of gratuitous towards women. He's a lot more.
Women
I mean,
power.
look at the type of women that he's in there. Everybody can probably kick all of our asses at the same
True.
time.
Right.
True.
But yeah, I thought that he kind of brought some reminiscent stuff of The Fifth Element when she was sitting there in the chair.
Yes,
And she started
yes.
like shooting stuff out of her mouth. I'm kind of like, okay, we're getting back to another movie that I remember here.
I would say even in the spot where the beginning in the cell, after she was taken to to deliver the drugs, the way she sat up and kind of did all of a sudden the badass routine, I thought that was very similar to Fifth Element. I mean,
It
just
was.
that whole way she handled herself.
It kind of was, and I still thought that scene was kind of. It was, you know how they did it,
Oh yeah,
but I still thought that scene was pretty well done.
yeah.
I think it was a little bit pushing it on kind of. It had me kind of feel a little bit like, okay, we're getting a little too far into this and taking too long on this scene, kind of like Train Spotting kind of thing.
that's
You know what I mean, Ryan?
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of. Well, I don't agree with Train Spotting having scenes running too long, but I
I think it did.
Well, I just the thing I don't that scene kind of took me out of it because she's having some drugs and somehow it magically makes her fly. All of a sudden she's freaking Superman. So that was kind of that part. I was like, I understand the idea, but really? So you're saying she's like a multi-dimensional being somehow, but yes, she still
And
needs
I was
drugs?
really hoping they weren't going to go with the drugs aspect of it.
I don't think they could have done it any other way. Because the drugs were a plot device. They really were.
Yeah, you would have had to come up with something.
That was the suitcase.
Aliens.
Struck by lightning.
Aliens.
Put her finger in the light socket.
Aliens would have been a believable plot point.
Almost, yeah.
See?
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
I mean, aliens increased her neural capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This looks like
we
blue
only
Epsom
use
salts
10% of
to
her
me.
brain. It's like you lost me already.
Actually, what it made me think of was Breaking Bad. I thought it was the Breaking Bad drugs.
That's
Brian.
That's
You've seen Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
The blue meth, yeah.
That's right.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
She's a meth head. That explains a few things.
Well, that's obviously why they brought the junkie and they thought it was meth.
And I always forget how short Scarlett Johansson is.
Yeah, she's a
She's
little
a
thing.
short thing.
Yeah, she's not.
Sorry, what, Ryan?
She's a wee one.
Yeah.
She is.
But I thought she did okay with this role. I think she overacted a few times where she was kind of playing a little bit more of intense thing right in the beginning.
She actually did a good performance, put through a good performance, especially in the beginning when she was still normal.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about the normal scene. I'm talking about like right after she got the drugs and she was kind of like, I don't know, she played like this really intense, like serious.
Seizure is not.
Yeah.
Well, she had no emotions. I mean, they completely cut that out of her character. So she's very kind of like one-dimensional. Very, I need this, and that's all she really did.
Well, I think it was supposed to portray some kind of like her brain's moving 1,000,000 miles a second, and we wouldn't be able to comprehend the moves that she's making in her head, kind of thing.
Well, that was kind of what they alluded to in the scene where she put those daggers in the guy's hands. When
And
she was
said
talking.
pain. All you can
Think about.
feel is pain. And
Yeah.
you have to
You
move
know,
past
it's
the
interesting
feelings.
too, and she leaves him alive. Kills
Yeah,
everybody else, but
yeah.
leaves him alive.
I
It was
It was
like,
weird.
I was
What?
I was gonna say, for a lady who says she's a multi-dimensional thinker, wouldn't you just slit the dude's throat while you were there?
I've been done with
you have
him.
no problem killing, and this guy is going to be the one who's going to be pissed off that you did all that killing.
And he's the one who slapped you, who put that crap into you, and you somehow decide to leave him alone.
alive. Yeah. So some of the plot wasn't great. Some of the
Leeloo
acting
would've
wasn't
killed him.
great.
Yeah, I think there's some plot holes, and yeah.
Even some of the cinematic stuff wasn't all that hot.
But I like the premise.
The
That's what
rolling
I
room
enjoyed.
Bothers me.
Yeah.
And I did also
I
like
liked
the
it.
fact that she brings up like that we have a concept of time, and
Right.
that when she gets to that point, that time really doesn't. You're
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
so
yeah.
fast that you become a blur.
Well,
and
the
time
only thing
don't-
we really have is
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and that's true. That's something I enjoyed about the movie. I thought that was a nice addition to the theme of the movie.
Yeah. So what did you say really bothered you?
The scene in the cell where she was bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, the Superman
It's a
bit.
rolling room.
Yeah.
That's an old
Yeah.
technique that goes back, 50 years or more.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was
it's like-
saying. We know how they did it.
When,
And-
when he was a kid with silent movies.
Well, but the other thing, if you want to get it picky, one of the reviewers picked up on it, just like I did as well, was her shirt showed. It's like she's supposed to not be having any gravity affecting her. Yet her shirt was hanging down every time she
Yeah.
was at the up moment. So even that wasn't right. But that's getting super picky.
Well, I mean, they could have sprayed something on there to tack it
This
down.
tighter
a little
shirt
bit.
and would have taken
It's
care
one
of
of
it.
those things that'll let you know, like, oh, I know exactly how they're filming that, and another thing that'll kind of take you out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's just weird watching somebody fake a seizure when you know it's, you know what I mean? I don't know. That was an odd choice.
Yeah,
Or
I
just,
thought
like,
it really was. I thought they could have done a lot better.
Yeah,
in this
that-
day and age, that scene should have been.
That's
a lot
something
better.
that I was going to bring up. Is for me, this movie felt rushed.
It was a little bit.
I think it was a little bit of a rush job. I think if they
yeah, I
had
think
taken
it
more
was
time
a
with it,
moment- Sorry, go ahead.
I think if they had taken more time with it, this movie would have deserved a better rating than what I'm actually going to give it.
And I think that the other thing that I thought was really weird was that Matrixy White Room LSD flashback thing.
Yeah, when they did that, I just remember saying, "Welcome to the Matrix."
Yeah,
That was-
exactly.
that was my thought. And when she started having that computer thing, it's like, oh, now she's hallucinating. Is this the part where she drops Formula 51? I mean, I didn't really get that.
And was it me or was that USB
Wait,
drive
what was-
really long?
What was that, Ryan?
Oh, but
That's it.
that was
was
the
the
Galaxy.
movie
Did you
never
notice?
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't see that, did you? It
Oh,
was
did I get the
stars. They
name
were
wrong?
actually. It was actually the Galaxy in that little USB drive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
When you
get
looked at it, if you looked at it carefully, it literally was the Galaxy. It was spinning. It was actually moving.
Well,
I see what you're
that
saying.
was a neat trick.
When that happened, when she made that entire crazy space age computer that looked like it came from a billion light years away,
Yeah.
and then that arm started to come out, I'm like, watch it be a USB. Out popped a USB. I almost walked the fuck out of the theater.
Apparently, Intel still exists in the future.
Well, she knew that she had to dumb it down to
Yeah, she had
that
to put it
day's
in-
technology, and that would have been.
I did, however, love I loved kind of the time traveler bit, where she rewound time.
Yeah, that
I-
was interesting.
I mean, I really liked, I loved that effect. I mean, it's, there's another one, like the Time Machine, the 1960s, has a similar effect going in the future. So I thought that was actually pretty creative. I mean, it was kind of weird that,
But
she
that was all blue screen, though.
Well,
You
yes,
could
but
tell
it's-
it was blue screen.
Oh no, it was including that USB stick. It was all blue screen or green screen technology. I mean, so yeah. I mean, my first thing when I saw that thing, it's like, oh great, it's just a green thing that they did something in post to make it look cool. Matter of
You know
fact,
what
that
bothers
effect
me?
kind of
It's
drove me
just
nuts.
being a real sci-fi fan, a real true lover of sci-fi. What kills me is this movie has been called sci-fi, and I'm going, really?
Well, I would say it's sci-fi-ish. It's not hard sci-fi, but
Well,
I'd say it's on
It
the light end.
just adds one more bad sci-fi movie to the list, and part of the reasons why we don't get good sci-fi movies.
Well,
I mean, because they don't, they know they're not going to make their money back. They're not going to spend multi-millions of dollars to make a real high-end sci-fi movie.
I'll agree with that. It's just like when they said Prometheus was going to be a great sci-fi movie, and it's still a letdown of a movie, which had great potential.
You don't like Prometheus?
Not really.
It was better
I
than
don't-
this
I'm
one.
giving you shit. I know you don't like it.
I don't remember what I gave it at the time. That was
You
a number
probably
of
gave it a 2 or a 1.
I think I gave it a
remember.
3.
Did you?
Probably. I was being nice.
All right.
But I still think this movie is a good mix of lighthearted, the Neil deGrasse Tyson scenes, and action and kind of drama scenes. I think the drama on this was almost too forced. I actually think it was way too forced versus the action scenes that I thought a little more flowed well than everything else in this movie.
Well, it's all of his action sequences that flowed well. All the
Yeah.
dramatic sequences almost didn't need to be there.
Well, no, they were really forced. Like the whole beginning when she was doing with that kind of druggy cowboy scene. You could have really done without that whole. I mean, that whole
that
thing.
set the stage for the movie.
She did have bad taste in men, didn't she?
But holy crap,
Yeah,
was
she
that
did.
predictable? I mean, I was like, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. It's like, damn it, I was right.
Well, kind of all the animal scenes kind of gave that away.
Well, yeah.
I really find it hard to believe that you unlocking more brain power as an individual gives you the keys to unlock the physical laws of the universe.
Yeah, and then
Such
somehow
as, let's rewind back to let's time travel.
That's right.
I don't see that happening.
That's what she did. She was
Great.
able to control time.
right? Too bad she didn't stop the Lone Pine Mall. I mean, this just I agree. The whole part, especially being able to control you control people, like just go boom, freeze, Even that part, although suddenly she was a shadow, I just thought it was really lame.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. I mean, it's like they took pieces of different movies and kind of jumbled them together and put Scarlett in it, and there you go. You got a movie.
Scarlett and Morgan.
Morgan, yeah.
But if you could, I don't think you could have picked anybody else in this movie and have it at least be what it was, which was at least fairly entertaining. Versus, I don't think who else could you have put in this movie and at least want to sit through it in the theaters?
As far as Scarlett and
I don't know. People would probably
She's a good one.
try to throw Portman into it.
Because I could listen to Morgan Friedman read
I
the
would've watched it
dictionary
then.
and sit through it.
Well, I think Angelina Jolie was originally cast for, but then dropped out
for
eventually.
her.
I mean, but almost interchangeable with they can both kind of play that action thing.
True.
Yeah, I actually think
They
it would have
just
been.
went for Scarlett just because she was so recently in the Avengers as this kick-ass broad.
Yeah.
I actually think Angelina Jolie would have made this movie worse than
I
Scarlett
actually agree.
Johansson.
I
6 of
think
one, half a dozen the other.
See, I don't necessarily think so. I think, for some reason, I think this role seemed to fit perfectly for Scarlett, where Angelina Jolie has a tendency to play that non-emotional badass, blah blah blah. Or at least this one had a little more character, or even a little bit more personality than Angelina's roles.
I just think that I'm over Angelina. I really am.
No, I agree.
I really am. That's about all I gotta say is that she's moved. I've moved on.
Yep. Yep. No,
I'm over you. Go away.
Please.
Stop calling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your dreams.
I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was okay, but other than that, go away.
So you like
I'm
Jennifer?
done.
You like Jennifer Aniston? I don't want to see her again.
I'm not really bothered by Jennifer Aniston. She wasn't as
I think she's.
Didn't get the
overplayed
didn't
as
get the
Angelina
reference. I said-
was.
She didn't get the role she should have gotten. I think.
So-
I think
I
she's
agree.
been misused.
So
to
I
be
am
honest.
dying to hear, what was your opinion? What did you give this movie, Ryan?
Yeah. Let's
I
hear
gotta
this.
go with 2, man. You can't have
Two?
that many plot holes and just expect people not to notice and give a shit. There was about 35 times I stopped paying attention. I looked right at my girlfriend like, really? They're going to expect me to buy this even though I just bought all the other bullshit before it? I kept having to make deals with myself. I guess I'll have to get over that one. Ah, shit, there's another hurdle. And, I shouldn't have to try that bloody hard. Being fun or not, 4 action sequences were fun. The rest of it was insane dribble.
Great. It's all of a sudden watching movies became the Olympics. James?
I gotta agree with Ryan. Deuces on this one.
Wow.
I expect better from Luke. I really do. And I had fun with this movie, but I agree with Ryan. There was too many times that I just went, really? Really? Am I the only one seeing this?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I stopped and I looked at Jen, and I found myself kind of doing the same thing Ryan is. Like, you're seeing this, right? I'm
So-
not hallucinating.
Did she give you the shut up, James?
No, but I think she was thinking it a couple times.
It's like he had zero regard for anybody paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't think he read the script from day to day.
But, I did have kind of fun after I kind of got into the thing of like, all right, if we take this as a theoretical, hypothetical movie, we can actually have some fun with this. But still, there's just too many things that you got to forgive.
So, Rob?
I'm going to give it 3 just because it's a sci-fi movie. No, nothing else is redeemable.
Wait,
as far
weren't
as
you
this movie
complaining
goes.
like 10 minutes ago that they classified this as a sci-fi?
He was. I mean, he was bitching and
but
whipping
I
and
still
whining
have to
and-
support sci-fi because I love sci-fi. And
You mean sci-fi?
Yeah, and I don't care how you spell it. So yeah, some of it was just horrible.
I'm going to pick a sci-fi
and
movie
again,
and have you watch it.
I really do
Sharknado.
believe that I really hate, like I said in my opening statement, I hate it when the trailer's better than the whole movie.
Yeah.
And by far, they should have just done the trailer and forgotten the rest. So
You go in and pay $10.75 for a 2-minute movie.
there you go. But you would
4-minute?
have given it better than a 2.
You might have
Probably.
actually wanted to see the whole thing. I was originally giving it a 2, and I thought about at least I was entertained by this movie somewhat, even though, like Ryan, there was a lot of mental gymnastics and like, they did this, okay, then they did this. But I give it a 3 because at least it was entertaining, and I kind of got to make fun of the movie. So,
I think you feel bad
say
that...
that if Neil deGrasse Tyson's friends are cruel enough to let him go see this movie, he is going to kill himself and then roll over in his grave.
no, I'm thinking more like he's going to kill the director. Say, what the hell did you do, man?
I
You
think
know,
you
if
just
any-
gave it an extra point because Ryan and I jumped on the 2s first.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's
save-
what it was.
Save your money and maybe you red box it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure,
on the
you know,
positive side, this isn't a backdoor pilot to a TV series.
That
that's-
maybe.
That's good. Yeah, no.
Lucy returns
The revenge, dun dun dun. Her
on
versus the
Real
Jewish
Flix
Mafia.
reviews.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know we do have a Facebook page. Please tell us, is there a movie you want us to do? How much do you hate us? Like the Wing Commander Forum. Just let us know. Is there something you want us to do, movie, genre, or a TV series like, I don't know, Battlestar Galactica? Let us know. And also, donate to Old Guy Tech TV. Give us some movie passes, please.
Yeah,
we don't
so
really
we can
care
pen-
about your opinion so much as your money.
That's
yeah,
right.
we really rather have your money.
Well, I'd rather
And
have
we're
your,
not getting much of it, so
I'd rather have
if we're
like
gonna keep this
movies.
thing rolling much longer, we need some money.
The train's gonna run out of gas.
Might.
So we're gonna talk about episode 4, Band of Brothers, The Replacements, and he's up.
So now I actually enjoy this episode. I think it's a good following to Karen Tan. Excuse me. And
Good board, sorry.
because you lost so many guys that you have all these guys coming in, how many of us would jump into a platoon like this and actually really legitimately do something stupid and get ourselves killed to impress them? Because that's really what I think. I think what the main point of this episode is said by the old guys in the beginning.
Yeah.
When they say, you get these guys coming in, and I stopped learning their names because they died too soon.
Well, I didn't want to care about them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, they were going to die, and I just didn't want to be hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and I had heard that from other veterans saying the same thing. And then they feel it's their obligation to try to save their asses and put themselves in bad positions that they wouldn't normally be in because they're trying to save some young guy who doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And I think it also perfectly explained the beginning of this episode because the 101st Easy got that unit citation, and the guy
Right.
saying you weren't there, so no, you have.
And then Bull, I love that.
Yeah, I love
Shit, you weren't there either.
and that one guy tries to explain it to the guy he was just one of the guys he was crapping on.
Hit before I got out of the plane.
I mean,
It
yeah.
doesn't mean you did something in Normandy, though.
Well, at least he could have gotten a
Well, at
Purple
least
Heart
he
out
was
of
on
it.
the plane. We'll give him
Yeah.
chops for that.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think that was the next scene I was going to bring up is that one. But I always think that this one really kind of shows that when in that type of situation, you really have to respect the guys that were there, and you
Yeah.
need to follow their lead, or
Yeah,
you're
but-
going to get killed.
And
I know
that's-
why John's really mad. David Schwimmer's back.
He was only
I'll
there
be-
for a glimpse.
I'll be completely honest. That scene where the new LT got kind of killed, I was like, why couldn't that have been David Schwimmer in real life?
Well, they actually explained to that is that that's why he didn't get out there because he would have gotten his platoon killed and himself killed.
Yeah, no,
So that's why he didn't get sent out to the front. But they decided that he trained such a great company that they'd give him another shot.
being the supply sergeant, excuse me, supply lieutenant.
Whatever. You still got to salute.
What's the rank?
Ryan, you're kind of quiet over there.
Well, shoot,
He's trying to remember back. He didn't watch it. I know. He's going.
Nah, he's like 6 episodes up.
Of soap. Well, no, that's why I'm trying to remember specifically that episode, and I don't want to jump too far ahead with it. I just thought it's with all the replacements coming in, even though they might have seen combat, you know what I mean, and been through a lot of the same things and stuff like that. Just coming into Easy Company, the ones who weren't there still never got any of the respect that they might have even deserved having seen combat. But just the camaraderie you develop between just those people who were physically there at that time, you get one battle removed from something, and it's just they're whole different people.
Well,
Yeah,
you
and
got
they're
guys
gonna-
that go from boot camp to battle.
Yeah.
Those 2 years, and they're going to be tight. And
Yeah,
trying to come
and I
in
was
to
gonna-
it, it's going to be difficult.
I will
Hold on,
say
hold
that
on.
because kind of this is your comment's going to be in the last one before we go to movie news. Is I love the scene where they're ready to jump when you had the old guys say, "No, get rid of this, do this, because they were trying to get these guys so at least they could hit the ground with all their gear."
Yeah.
Unlike what happened to most of them at Normandy when they
Yeah,
jumped.
like I said, that's one of the things that they had to learn from the guys is they have to listen to what they say because that's going to be a big thing.
All of it was on the job training.
Yeah, and
You
Ryan,
know?
what I was going to point out to you is the one where Bull kills the German in the barn.
Right.
That's the episode.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
And moving on to movie news, I
Movie
know,
news,
we're all kind of big Marvel fans, and the latest rumor is the Doctor Strange might be Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, God.
no,
And
no.
I
Hair lip?
oh,
Have you seen what they're doing?
Are you really going to do hair lip?
Wonder Woman? Did you see the new Wonder Woman costume?
No.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman's in it now, too?
Well, she's not Marvel, she's DC.
Well, okay.
I can't
I
forgive
don't-
hair
I
lip.
don't know if I have a problem with.
I do.
Joaquin Phoenix as.
Oh,
I mean, dude,
River Phoenix was the
he's
good
a
one.
Wicked good actor, though.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah,
I'll
he-
give-
Go
I'll
watch
give-
The Village.
I'll give him the benefit of a doubt.
Not
No,
everybody's a
that's-
hit at
he-
the one movie.
he's-
You know, give him a. Give
He's
him
not a
pass.
good enough actor to overcome M. Night Shyamalan's bullshit, but he's a pretty fucking good actor, dude.
And
I
Mel
think he can
Gibson's
do that
barely
role
enough
if
of
he
an
wants to.
actor.
I mean, that's a
I was gonna say Samuel L. Jackson could even overcome him, but
dude, these are comic books we're talking about.
Right.
And the other one,
Right.
talk about a comic book. Everybody's favorite character, Deadpool, has a short that leaked. Go to the
Yeah.
Real Flix Reviews Facebook page and see what you think, because it's hilarious. It is. I actually think if they do it like they show in this thing that leaked, they might actually do a Deadpool movie and actually have it be hilarious and be
Well,
fit to
that's
the
the
comic.
only way to do a Deadpool movie. Anybody
Yeah.
who would go see that movie already knows what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they actually do it right. This trailer is pretty hilarious because they totally breaks the third wall and go, "Oh, hello there." I mean, it's you got to watch it on the. Go to facebook.com/realflixreviews. It's pretty funny.
I really just can't wait to see Guardians of the Galaxy, man. That's oh man, I can't wait for that movie.
I'm still pissed off about hair lip.
So,
Get over it.
wow. So next month's movies. Next. Wow. I just can't get over that. Next month's.
Dude, get over it.
Next
Come on.
month's movie genre we're gonna do is childhood favorites. And since I was a kid in the '80s, I'm gonna pick the only good
Oh,
Transformers
you're
movie.
picking first?
Oh, you're picking Transformers the movie?
Yep,
Oh,
the
man.
cartoon. No Michael Bay, a PG Transformers movie. The only one of the very few kids movie in the '80s that actually cussed.
Wow.
So and the next.
One cuss word in it.
Hey, they wanted a PG rating. And next week's is episode 5 of Band of Brothers, and you know what that one's actually called.
Actually, I don't have
Don't worry
that.
about it. Just episode 5. You'll see.
It's episode 5.
The one
I think
after
it's
the replacements.
Crossroads.
Sorry, what?
I
Gaty?
think it might be Crossroads.
That's probably it.
And I gave the movie Lucy a 3 out of 5. James gave it a 2 out of 5. Ryan gave it a 2 out of 5. Rob gave it a 3 out of 5. Next week's movie is Transformers, the movie, the cartoon made in the 80s. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Nah.